Now, the Browns need to upgrade the wide receiver position. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. I know you have written an article for affordable options. So you list DJ Chark, Cedric Wilson, Christian Kirk, Juju Smith-Schuster. Who do you like out of that? Who do you think makes the most sense as far as for the Browns? Which of those affordable options do you like the most?
The one I like the most is actually Cedric Wilson. But if I had to pick of all four of these, I'd actually pick Juju Smith-Schuster. As much as, Browns fans have probably hated him over the past few years. Last year, he got the Browns, fired up, I guess, for the playoff game. They're just, the gray logo to me. The Browns is the Browns. He did all the Corvette dancing, and then the Browns Corvette danced him out of the playoffs. But I would go with him. He's a big body that fits the fantasy system perfectly. He's almost the perfect replacement for Jarvis Landry, should they part ways, because he's able to separate a little bit more. And as we've seen this year, separation is what killed the Browns wide receivers. They had none. So Juju of that list makes the most sense to me.
What do you like about, you mentioned Cedric Wilson. What do you like about him, and how do you think he fits into Kevin Stefanski's system?
I like that he has speed, something that the Browns receivers lack. Most everything that we talk about from now until the Browns sign guys or draft guys is going to be about speed and separation. He has a bunch of speed, and he's proven that he can step up in a big-time offense and a high-octane offense with Dallas. Michael Gallup missed most of the year. He stepped in admirably for him, especially with CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper on either side of him. He really stepped up and was that viable third option, and he can be, I don't know if he's a number one for the Browns, but he could be a number two.
How many wide receivers do you think the Browns need to add? I mean, it can't be just one. It's got to be a reasonably high draft pick, and I would think maybe a later pick and a free agent probably.
Yeah, so if Jarvis Landry does not come back, the only two receivers on the current roster that I can see coming back are Anthony Schwartz, the rookie that played this year, and Donovan Peoples-Jones, who will be entering his third year next year. So I would say at least 3 or 4, and that's going to come, like you said, in the draft and free agency. There's plenty of free agent depth this year. There's a lot of draft depth as well. Obviously, you'd like a guy like Devontae Adams, but he's probably not coming to Cleveland. I would love a Michael Gallup if he can recover from his ACL injury. Chris Godwin's another guy I love if he can also recover, and he doesn't want a huge amount of money. But Andrew Berry's smart, and he's going to need to do, the cheap route of this, because last year the Browns had almost $31 million in just 2 receivers, and one is now going to play for a chance to go to the Super Bowl, and the other, his future is up in the air, and that's OBJ and Jarvis Landry. In the draft, hopefully it's someone like a Garrett Wilson or Treylon Burks. Like I said, there's plenty of draft depth this year. So I would say 3, 4 receivers, maybe even possibly 5, just to take into training camp.